It came about through conversations that I've been having with Simon and the idea of inviting relatively senior writers back to do things that they couldn't do in other places, because Simon's from a generation of writers that started at the Court, and they've gone off to work at the National and in other theatres. And in the case of Simon, he's worked extensively internationally, particularly in Germany. And we had a conversation about what he might do that might allow him to do something here that he couldn't do anywhere else. So that was how it started. And I came up with this idea initially of doing a play that happened simultaneously in 3 different spaces. So it would happen in the bar downstairs, it would happen in the Jowo Theatre downstairs, which is our large theatre, and the Jowo Theatre upstairs at the same time, and the audience would move. They would be divided into 3, and they would move between the 3 spaces. And he was really interested in that idea, the technical challenges of it, the technical challenges of writing 3 plays that would be interlinked, where the actors clearly couldn't be the same actors, where they'd have to be roughly the same time, and that we would then move the audience between the spaces. And we did some work on that play, and we had a conversation about it, and he then went off and reconceived the play that was done now.
Shh.
What?
Can you hear that?
What?
Next door.
What about next door?
You can hear people talking.
What are they saying?
Simon's a natural collaborator. He really enjoys the process of collaboration. I think he's really enjoyed working with these kind of auteur directors in Europe and having their influence and delivering them scripts that are formally challenging and demanding, and watching how they respond to that. So, and Katie has always been influenced more by European practitioners than by British. She has a British rigour in terms of the text, and she's always had that. So that's their shared taste and aesthetic. But I think that I would define it like this. I would say that Simon is a very, very intuitive artist. I think that he really writes in quite a free way from his own intuition. And that Katie is more of a logical, process-based artist. So I think in those 2 ways they are complementary.
Do you know what the sexiest thing somebody can do to another person is? No, don't answer that. I'll tell you. It's hold their gaze. It's keep eye contact. To do that, to not flinch, to not look away. How long do you think you could hold eye contact with me for?
Hours.
I bet you couldn't.
I bet I could.
For me, one of the key criteria of programming at the Court is not just the quality of the writing, but it's also to do with in what way is it pushing things forward, in what way is the play breaking new ground. In most cases with British writers, it's really about content or world. That's where the groundbreaking territory tends to be concentrated in the contents of the play rather than its form. Whenever we're discussing or deciding or thinking about whether to do a play or not here, there are 2 criteria. One is the quality of the writing, whether the writing is any good or not. Now, of course, that's a subjective decision, but it's an informed one because we discuss the plays in a weekly script meeting. A variety of different people inform or advise on that decision, including 3 or 4 playwrights, in-house directors, literary manager, and sometimes some guest directors and another member of staff. So the discussion is a very broad one. So we make qualitative decisions about the ability of the writer to write well, of kind of good dramatic writing. But the other conversation we're constantly having is in what way is this play pushing forward? In what way is it original?
The moon's out.
Oh, look.
What?
I'm bleeding a bit.
Are you?
I cut my leg.
How did you do that?
Climbing over the fence.
Wait, come here.
What are you doing?
Does that hurt?
Of course it doesn't hurt. It's just a graze.
I can't believe you didn't notice it, seriously.
I know, sorry.
Clean it up properly after I've gone. Get a plaster on it, it'll get infected.
Don't be hysterical. Honestly, talk about a bewildering overreaction. The thing you don't know about me, Harry, is I'm a bit of a savage.
The writers' programmes are really guided by enlightened self-interest. We want to get plays on in this theatre. We're not social workers, we're not teachers. So we have no business running courses for people as an educational service to the community. We are here to get plays on our stages, and that's what we tell the writers. And I think therefore we're engaging with them, even though they might be relatively inexperienced. We're engaging with them as artists. And even when we're working with people down to the age of 15, we're treating them as artists, and we're treating them as equals. We may have more experience, but a lot of what happens in those groups is really just about support and building confidence. I don't really think you can teach playwriting. I think you've got to have the desire to do it yourself, and then we can ask questions, we can help share experiences that we've had. Of course, there are techniques that are useful to know about, but if you're asking a writer to do something truly original, you have to recognise that they're going to be in advance of you. You can't be in a kind of pedagogical relationship with them as the person who knows everything. If you're saying you're the artist, you have to just say you're the artist and keep saying it.